Let's see if I can fix this. There we go. That sounds a little better. And so I'm Jason, your host this morning for the Morning Ritual for Guitar Growth. And if you're new here, I welcome you to join us. It's a super simple, just super basic, just get with the guitar and let's just wake up together. Wake up our hands and our bodies, our minds, and we will overcome. We shall overcome. I've been thinking a little bit lately about a really great, a really wonderful, it's a song from Woody Guthrie. Woody Guthrie wrote the song. It's called California Stars, and a few people cover it, Bob Seger, the Wilco, and Billy Bragg. It's a really great piece of music. You know, it's one of those that will kind of resonate with you well. So if you haven't heard it yet, I haven't been able to locate a version of Woody Guthrie playing it, but I know it must be somewhere, you know. Library of Congress, maybe, I don't know, I don't even know. But I know California Stars. It's a lesson I did a long time ago, a session that I did a long time ago on this channel here, Jason Carey Guitar. I have a few other places on the internet where I kind of deliver things, but this channel is kind of turning out to be my flagship channel. So you can go back and take a look at California Stars. It's by basically it's by the, you know, the one and only Woody Guthrie, and I did it sort of like the session as performed or as played by Wilco with Billy Bragg's version, I think. So a really great song. And there are so many, like we've been talking about, there are so many great songs out there. Just so many great songs to know and come to adore. This morning I have a tea going. It's ginger root, fresh grated ginger root tea with turmeric, cracked pepper, fennel, crushed fennel seed, and some honey. So and cayenne pepper. So it's a really nice little drink. It's a nice little morning beverage. So Mark, I have my glasses this morning so I can see you very clearly. Good morning, Kevin. Got to roll. Oh man, you're in and out. Oh. Mark, I hope you have a super day, man. Robbie's in the house. Robbie, good morning to you, brother. And Zumanji's here. Good morning, Zumanji. Good morning to you and Mark and Kevin. So we have a nice little posse this morning. And so what we're going to do is we're going to just start just simple, you know, simple stuff. And Raoul's been emailing me, our good friend Raoul from Germany. He's been emailing me. He emailed me a side-by-side of how I sit with a guitar like this, and then how I sit with a guitar like this. And so he said one looks cooler than the other one, and he asked me my opinion about the posture. So we're going to talk about Reasons Why. That's another great song, that Reasons Why. Nickel Creek did a song called Reasons Why. What a great groove. Reasons Why. I don't know why that just popped into my head, but we're supposed to be warming up today. All right. Hey, here he is right now. Good morning, Raoul. Good morning, Mr. McQuena. And I've got my second monitor down here so I can try to keep up. So I'm going to go ahead and push a couple of love buttons here. Just smash that like button, and then we're going to just start going. And we're talking about posture today. We also have a new thing to talk about, so if you want to stick around, that'll be pretty exciting. All right, here we go, and we're off and running, and we're using fingers 3 and 4, and I'm going to shift my step a little bit here so that you can take a look. One of the things Mr. Werner or McWenna, one of the things we've been talking about, we've been corresponding via email, and he's been shipping me these images of static images of side-by-sides of how I sit and how I am modeling playing the guitar to my internet friends. And so I have to be mindful of this because we definitely don't want to create any workplace injury. Workplace injury is a no-no, especially for guitar players. Now this is, you can see how if I sit like this, my elbow is hooked right into so in order for me to get this stretch done correctly, I feel like I need to angle my arm so that it kind of opens up that second and third finger. So does it do that over here? It does. It's just an ergonomic. It's just part of it's by design. So we're going to come back to this posture in a moment because I do like to be seated correctly. I like to be seated correctly, and I like to be in an upright and just position for a number of reasons. And then I also like the classical sort of approach where we push the guitar away from the bottom of our bellies, so we allow the back of the guitar to resonate. This is a good general sort of rule of thumb. Where I sit with the guitar strap is right about here. So when I stand with the guitar, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get this situation to look a lot like what happens when I stand up with the guitar. Play the song from Schindler's List. Oh. Good morning. I'm going to go ahead and do this a second time around. You play the song from Brokeback Mountain. Brokeback Mountain. I don't know those songs, but I certainly do appreciate you showing up here and saying hello. Good morning, Raoul. Good morning, Grunt Alexander. So we're working through fingers 1 and 2 now, just kind of getting down to the nitty-gritty. I did a little extra work on fingers 3 and 4 this morning. I went down and up because I really think it's important to get those fingers communicating across the span of the fretboard. So let's use fingers 1 and 3. And you can see that I'm just kind of using this. This is a posture that I'm familiar with when I perform. Let's say if I've entered a flat picking competition or something like that, part of the delivery of that kind of performance is specific to the way I would practice the piece of music. So I would practice the piece of music likely over this knee, and then present it over this knee so that I could get the microphone point, so that the mic sit in front of the microphone correctly. So do I do yoga to counteract some of the bad posturing on the guitar? Yeah, absolutely. Let's go ahead and get fingers 1 and 4 involved. And you can see how I'm doing what my body has to do. Don't forget to breathe because this is going to burn like crazy especially if your strings are high at all. Are your strings high? So let's go ahead and I've got to stretch this out a little bit. So 1, 2, T, 4, E into 2, E into 2, E into T, E into 4. And welcome if you're just tuning in. I'm Jason from the Morning Ritual. I'm your host for the Morning Ritual for Guitar Growth. And what I do every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, and we have some daylight savings times coming up to adjust to here in the United States and elsewhere, some other places, but we'll be experiencing a shift, not this weekend, but next. So just keep that in mind. And this feels really good to stretch. I'm here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time, running some neck with you fellas and ladies. So I do, let's see, let's try this. Let's get rid of that. No, I don't want that question answered. It's not going to work. All right, so let's go ahead and, let's get this other finger, this other hand kind of working in our favor. So good morning to you. Good morning to you. I don't really want to seem too over the top in the mornings, but I get excited. I do still get really excited about coming to visit the guitar and getting with the guitar in the morning. And I hope you do too. I'm sure that some of us are just chomping at the bit to get back to the guitar when we're away from it. And others of us, there are those of us who think about the guitar more than we actually plug and play the guitar. But what we learn is just if you're a guitar practitioner, what do guitar players do? That's the question. I've got a question for you guys. What do guitar players do? So let's use fingers 2 and 3 and 4 and we'll get moving. So, and this feels really great. I've been playing electric guitar for a few days now. And then being back with the acoustic guitar feels really great. Joe Bonamassa's spring tour is kicking off. I don't know if you've been following any of his media, but switching over to fingers 1 and 2 and 3. If you had to guess, what would your favorite genre of music be? You know, I'm kind of partial to blues and the improvisational nature of blues because that's kind of where I started. I started in blues. Early on, I had a couple of really influential blues guitar teachers. Once in a while, we just got to get the lead out, just kind of get it out of there. And so we're using fingers 1 and 2 and 4. Baroque 15th, 18th century. Oh. I was listening yesterday, I was listening to some Beethoven. And while I'm rewiring some things, and I had to change it to, I'm 1 and 3 and 4 now, I had to change my approach to Claude Debussy, and that allowed me, it kind of gave me that Mozart effect I was sort of looking for, shopping for. The old Apple Music sort of like Debussy essentials. Yeah, good. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about why I'm here now. I'm here in this posture because it's just kind of a go-to. It's secure. I can pull on the guitar with my hand. I can pull on the guitar with my elbow, and this is just it's a secure setting for how I frequently will sit with the guitar. But Raoul Wold has raised some great points about it looks a little more open, and if you're into film and acting, and if you're into you have a closed position and an open position, so it does make a difference how we address the camera. It definitely does. And so this hangs down here, so you don't have to look at my inseam all morning long. And then this way, if my legs are together, you don't also have to look at my inseam all day long. I learned that the hard way when I first started streaming. I got some comments and that we don't really want to have kicking around. You know what I mean? So I think this is good. This is typically how I would play, like you know, Joy of Man's Desiring, or Fernando Sor, or you know, basically strumming the guitar. This gives me a good open angle for my elbow. It keeps my elbow down. It keeps the guitar angle at the neck at a good angle. It's not really how I hold the guitar when I stand up and pick. So I like to be seated when I practice, and I prefer to be seated on stage too. Good. But let's take a look at 1, 2, 3, 4, and we'll go down 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll come up 1, 2, 3, stretch 4, and then descend 1, 2, stretch 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll do the double stretch. And then we'll be off to our new thing today. We are going to omit some of the other pieces of what we usually do so that we can fit some new material in here today. This will be good. And this will kind of pair, it will dovetail nicely with the chromatic work that we've done yesterday. Did anybody get a chance to look through some of the chromatic work that we did yesterday? I got bit by the bug, and now I'm in a rabbit hole where the grass isn't greener but blue. Oh yeah, I was bitten by that bug. Yeah, what are you listening to right now, Zumanji? Maybe you should email me and we can trade some files around. And then we're going to descend 1, 2, 3, stretch 1, 2, 3, 4. And so I'm just going to kick that first finger back, the old kickstand exercise. Oh, hey Angelo, brother from Alice in Chains. I've been listening to, it's been snowing up here in the Northeast, and so I've been on my tractor snow blowing the properties here. We have a few things to maintain, and so I put my headphones on, and when I get out working the tractor for a couple hours, I'm out there for a few hours, just trying to get everything cleaned up, and then we do have a lot to maintain. And then I'm doing the double stretches, so fingers 1 and 4, right? We need to do these things. These things are super important to do. They're just super important to do. And it does give us access to the things that we want to have access to, whether it be jazz, blues, country, bluegrass, pop, Steely Dan, like the Asia record. I mean, whatever you want to play, these exercises are the fundamental they're the fundamental beginnings of everything that we want to do. Learn all of these scales and modes and make those kind of like fluent on the guitar. So this is a great starting point. I'm happy you're here with me in the mornings. I'm here every weekday morning running neck with you, running some neck. So our little fingers are running all over the neck every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern. So happy to be here with you. So if you like playing your guitar in the morning, if you have time to join us, you can see the live chat's a real banger. I'd love to have your input here in the live chat. I've been listening to, in my earbuds, that Alice in Chains record. I don't know if you are familiar with it. You must be. It's more like an EP, I think. Maybe it's a record. Jar of Flies. Have you listened to that record? It's like one of my all-time favorite albums. Like, there was that Pearl Jam 10 when that came out. It was in the Saab for about 3 months straight. Burnt my CD player out with it. It wasn't an 8-track player. It was a CD player. And that was an upgrade from the cassette deck that I had. So what we're looking for is speed and control and dexterity. So we're going to start with, we got all of the 4-finger stuff done, and I thought we were going to do this 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise, the diagonal pattern, just to get our fingers fully warmed up. That's right, you can join me. If you'd like to, you can go back to our website is about ready to jumpstart, just get kick-started into something that's actually really functional and fun to engage with. So you can get used, I'm going to get used to saying, go visit us at jasoncareyguitar.com if you'd like to, number one, sign up for the email newsletter, the Fret Runners Dispatch. And that's a great email. We are going to have some fun there, but you can visit jasoncareyguitar.com on the internet and sign up, download some free resources. There's a lot of stuff going on, so don't hesitate to get on over there and have some fun with it. And I'm doing the expanded version of this 1, 2, 3, 4 exercise. Right now that website isn't really refreshed, but later today I think they're going to push send on the updated design and layout and connectivity. So keep your eyes on jasoncareyguitar.com for the next few days, and you should see a pretty good size change. But it's still functional. You can still go download all of the resources that you need. For example, for the what is it? The Morning Ritual for Guitar Growth binder. It's a really good full-length binder, 10 pages. It's free, and just go ahead and get that. And then the 5x5 method. We're basically building on the 5x5 method. We're going to new places, removing the stale, and all of this. We're accessing all of this without the overwhelm, right? So that's important to remember. Mr. Strings as well, and Turmoil. Check out Yonder Mountain String Band. Yonder Mountain String Band. I think you might dig some of their earlier stuff. Rambler's Anthem. Yonder Mountain String Band. Rambler's Anthem. I've seen the setting sun in California. I heard mountain winds they howl and moan. And I've seen that half moon rising up above. How does it go? I've seen the setting sun in California, and mountain winds they howl and moan. And I've seen that half moon rising up above. Heard the sound of the train that'll carry me home. I've been roaming. I think it's roaming. I've been roaming and rambling. You're gonna get a kick out of that one. It's great. They're just great. The singer mandolinist passed away, but great musicians, you know, having some fun with it. Saw an interview with Joe Bonamassa earlier today. Joe is not warming up anymore. He can speak better with his guitar. not warmed up, he said, yeah, well, I think that's a good way to look at it. Sometimes you can go through periods in your life where you play so much that it's not really, you need to take a break from it, right? You get kind of what you call burnout. You do get burnout where you put it down and then all you do is hike around and listen to waterfalls and try to recover and find some new inspiration for months. And you're wondering if that new inspiration is ever going to come. And just when you think it's all over, that new inspiration, that little thread, you pull on it, and then you're sucked in again. So it does happen. All right, we said we were going to do something new. We have 4 minutes left. All right, it's completely different from what we've been doing. I might stick around after to do a little bit of that. Maybe a little bit of some of that Jar of Flies, Alice in Chains stuff. But for now, I wanted to take a look at, and while I'm on a high string guitar, I wanted to take a look at just getting used to playing fifths with only just hammer-ons and slurs. Can I hammer on my fourth finger? Well, I want to really get this exercise going, and so I'm basically choking out because I don't tie a sock. People tie socks around here, they have the little dampers and stuff. And that's all great, it totally works. But I don't have one on my guitar at the moment, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to control the unwanted string noise by just choking with my left hand, my fret hand, right? So there's that Charlie Brown theme, right? And then you have the do, what is it? Do, re, mi, re, do, re, re, mi. Right, so there's some stuff going on here that we want to maybe have some access to. We'll start with something a little lighter, just using the root and the fifth. And then we'll think about like Ricky, don't lose that number. You know what I mean? You know, Ricky, don't lose that. So we've got that boom, 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 boom. So that anticipation of 1, 2, and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and T, 4 and 1, 2 and T, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1. And it takes a little bit of doing, and you have to really want it. It's like making tofu or bread or cheese or something. You have to really want to do it, you know, because it's not always that easy to do, right? And what I'd like to do here is, I'm on the A chord, you know, so I can play the A major or A minor pentatonic, right? With the right hand, my picking hand. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to think about just A minor. So I'm thinking about the flatted 3 on fret number 10 on the D string, and that will be enough right now, right? So I'm using the root, the fifth, and then the flat 3, right? And you can see how my thumb is anchored, like Eddie Van Halen might have anchored his thumb on the top of the fretboard, just to have a nice little anchor. And then so we have the flat 3, root 5, and then the flat 3 here on fret number 10 on the D string. So fret number 5 on the low E, fret number 7 on the A string and fret number 10 on the D. We're thinking about like going back to listen to, we're listening to like Joe, speaking of Joe Satriani's Flying in a Blue Dream. How long has it been since you've listened to Joe Satriani's Flying in the Blue Dream? If you haven't heard it recently, you owe it to yourself to just fully re-immerse yourself in that album, because the guitar work is just genius and the tones are just amazing. But we're thinking there are some new hotshots, young hotshots, doing some really cool stuff with this kind of technique, and we don't want to be left behind, right? Good morning. So we had Satok, good morning. The whole thing made of elephant teeth. Yes, sand off the bridge a little bit. That's the way to do it. It didn't get noticeably better. Sometimes that does. That does get a little bit challenging. So we have the root, the 5, and then the flat 3. So what I'm going to try to do is, I'm thinking also on the top of that, I might want to have the root note. So that's also on fret 10 on the B string. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's about the aim. The aim is important, right? And then you can think about where you want to hold or sustain, use ostinato, and then, or just sort of pizzicato or just really staccato sort of approaches. So you have long tones and short tones to play around with. So I think those are good places to start. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and. So we have to get used to sort of moving between one and two different shapes. We'll talk a little bit more about this later on. But this is really kind of a fun thing to do. It just kind of explore the guitar with no pick. I know some of us do that that's sort of our job, right? To explore the guitar without the pick. And we're fingerstylist, but now we have two different approaches. We have linear motion that we can apply, but I'm thinking just starting with just getting the root and the 5th and the flatted 30, or the root and 5th or the major 3. So we know how to make a minor and a major and minor triad. And just get used to some different sort of like permutations. So we have the forward roll, and then the reverse roll, and then we have different different stuff to just explore on the guitar. So warming up could be simply just working on getting these hammer-ons happening. And I know we've done some of these things together some days where we just use no pick and work on only hammer-ons. And it's really can be frustrating in pull-ups. But it's really great stuff to do, and again, frustrating, so don't forget to breathe, don't forget your posture. And I think we're way beyond the top of the hour, and that indeed is the case. Kevin has come and closed us out. It's have a great day, everyone. Until tomorrow, thank you, Kevin. Thank you very much. I'm just going to hang out here and play some Alice in Chains for just a couple minutes. Too low action is not good because the strings will buzz. I like a little bit of that grit in there too. Some guitars, right? This guitar seems to be a little bit high for me, but that's okay. I'm going to turn this off too. I think we're using a pick. I've got another kind of old Ultex kicking around here. This is like a 2.0, and it's a really great sort of like rounded edges. It's already been sort of like sanded and buffed, so it's got this really nice sort of smooth action, and I do like these picks, you know. You guys, we're all finished, so if you guys have other places to be, I'm just going to hang out and play the guitar for just a minute. You're more than welcome to hang, and look at another guitar. Just real quick. This guitar was made when that song came out. So let's see if that makes any difference. Let's see what happens when we introduce a different guitar. It's going to take just a second to tune it up. Let's just double check what's going on. Yeah, we're in good shape. Just going to rough it in. With the old Grover standard tuners on it. I love these tuners. Oh yeah, I'm feeling it now. I'm feeling that difference, you know. The old Taylor 420, if you haven't played one of these, if you can get your hands on one, man, they are sweet. But the old one, you know. If we turn this into a, you know, a finger picking tune, you know. Chase this pretty light. It would work, I think. So we've got to get back to the, like that incubus chord, right? That's C Lydian with a D in the bass. We could also play those C with the D chord with a C in the bass. Like that opens up that 7th fret harmonic. So here's the melody. couple of times through just to kind of get warmed up for where we're going to place the melody. So it's okay, well, let's work that out. I think we can work it all right there. Another really cool thing that we can do. So we've got these C chords, the C, and then the D major, and then the E minor, and then this D major, and then basically the E minor or the G chord, right? E minor. So we're basically pedaling one of the things that you can do that's really great when we start working on understanding modal interchange or modal modalities is that we can use two different triads that are interconnected on top of a root area, which gives us all of the flavors of that mode while remaining focused on chord tones. Good morning. So it's going to be just a little bit like, let's see, so D, E minor, and then D major, and then E minor, and then D major, and then E minor. Then we have our basically our kit. Now we can just sort of start working away, understanding that we can basically move between D major and E minor, even on top of the C chord, which makes it even more contrast ridden and more interesting to listen to. First thing to understand for me is like, where's the melody start? So it starts on the 9 of the C chord. So 9, and then we work down up to the 3, and then back to the, you know, the 3, the 7, the 6, and then the 5 of the C chord. Right here in open position. And then I've got to remember where I am. I can use chordal harmony if I wanted to, and just to kind of fill it out with a bit more sort of modern guitar approach. You know, so let's say we wanted to do that, you know. So we're pretty much playing in the key of G, but starting in E minor, which is the relative minor of G. So that works out really great for us because the key of G lays out nicely on the guitar. that's about it for today. But I'm all sauced out. But I think we're pretty much warmed up and get ready to go practice for the remainder of the day. And I'm just noodling around and having some fun, and I'm glad I could share that time with you. And I really hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful morning playing your guitar. I do, running some neck. In reality, it requires both dexterity and sensitivity. Well done. Hey, wow, that's Marie. Thank you very kindly. Thank you very kindly. I really appreciate that. We get replacement bridge nut before sanding on a hard plastic like a caveman. Hey, Greenberry. Yeah, Dishina, I hope you get your guitar sorted for sure. I understand what it's like to, you know what you want it to feel like, and then that gap between what it's like and what you want it to be can sometimes seem like an eternity, you know, a long distance away. But if you stick with it, get yourself a lutherie book, take your time though and enjoy the process. If you can become a good, well-equipped luthier, you'll never have shortage for work, right? You'll never have shortage. Well, I never and always a long time, but I think you'll have work if you get good at what you do. I think you'll find work. Well, I haven't played this guitar for a while. Oh, we could get into E minor from there, E flat. There's a lot to do on the guitar. Just have some fun. Get out there and have a great time. And we'll see you again tomorrow. I'll be back here at 7:30 a.m. Eastern time. And felt great to stretch out a little bit today. Got to admit, just kind of noodling around. From Marie. Good morning. United States. It takes a lot of practice and attention day after day to improve and achieve a certain level of dexterity and natural musical ease. on the guitar. I think you're right, and I think that's what we're shooting for. Yeah. If you have a guitar, or if you don't yet have a guitar, grab your guitar. You can bring your guitar here. We're here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time. We're getting ready for daylight savings, so check that out and how that might affect you. But I will look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. And that's it for today. I'm out. You guys take good care of yourselves. And if you do get another guitar, you're more than welcome. This is a free morning ritual, and we definitely love to have, if you're coming by just to survey it and take a look at what's happening, you're more than welcome. So hope to see you again, and happy picking.